Welcome back, generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 hour to make the best game ever. Okay. So, we have right, last session we worked on the debug cheats. And we figured that some cheats, 2 of them are not mapped. Right. So this one is not mapped. Yeah. So this one is not mapped. And this one, right? Okay, so the question is, first, where do we map them? I already forgot. There's some function, I think, where we do a step frame. Yeah, message stream. Here. Generate meta map. So I think we need to say if defines RTS debug and if okay, so we need this guy and this one. Let's do another copy. Free builds. Okay, now the question is, what do we map that to? So we have instant build that is mapped to F. I don't know why F. Free build. Free build. Move pre-rec. Fuck off. Okay, how about we map it to Q, key, Q, modifiers, alt. Okay, so an F, how about key, instant builds, B, key B, do we have something there? Battle cry, shift B. We could use free build on alt B. Yeah. What was it here? Free builds on B. Transition on mod state. Alt. State. Alt. Visible in game. Hmm. Transition down, Alt, MKB. Hmm. And then to remove prereq, how about key Q? Prereq. Okay, there already is one. How about key prereq? How about key P? There we could do Alt P, Alt P. Yeah. Alt P. So this guy is only defined in debug, right? Yes. Yes. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Then let's test that. One more thing regarding the instant builds. Instant builds. Here. I would like to see if we can somehow check if there's no player that is currently building. How will we know? Would have to iterate all objects. So, what can we do in the player? Is there something with objects here? Objects. Find natural commands. Find any existing object with sync template. Find most ready shortcut weapon. Count buildings. Count buildings. Player team product. Count buildings. Count buildings. Count objects. team. How did we get there? Count buildings, count objects, team prototype. So what we could do is we could add a new function and call it count production, right? Something like that. So we have a int count production void, and it should be const. Yeah. Then we take count production. But I don't know if they're part of this here. If something is in the build queue, does it count as a production? I don't know. Not entirely clear to me. Let's try to implement it and see where it goes. So it's a good learning experience, I guess. I don't really know what I'm doing here, but we just replicate with what is already there. Okay. Then we go in here. We add a count production in here. Count production. Yeah. Count production. Where's this going? Int. Look at that, there's another function. int count production. How deep does this go? Oh boy. Curious why these guys are not consts. That's weird. That's really... Count objects. It's a terrible way. You have to implement it in a million functions. There was this function. Iterate objects. Iterate all objects that this player has. Maybe you can use that instead. Maybe we should use that. Yeah. Okay, you know what? Let me comment this out. It's getting out of hand here. There's a million functions for this bullshit. That doesn't look like the way it should be. Okay, so how about we go back to player and we have here iterate objects. How about we use this? We go back to here. Let's add a function here, iterate objects. So so we have this guy here, and we check iterate objects. Okay, how about we create a new function up here? Void has production player. Right, has things in production. Okay, then we create another function. We return bool here. Bool. Any player has things in production. There we go. Okay, and then here we do this, and then we do if player is human and player no. If if has things in production, player has human player things in production. Any human player has things in production, and then if yes, then return true. Otherwise, down here, return false. Okay, and then here we say object iterate func. We need a void. Let's say objects void objects under construction. Object under construction. So that takes what? Object star. What is this? Object and user data. Object and void user data. Do boolean. We remove this. Here we pass this, and user data we have a boolean has objects has thing in production. We don't even need to count how much, just has things in production. Do false. Return that. Here we pass that. And player iterate objects. Then here we say if objects test status, I think test status objects under construction. If object under construction, then bool user data true. Yeah, then we can do return, early return. Oh, we don't need to return. Iterate objects. How can we say that we want to stop iterating? Oh, we can't. Oof. That's too bad. Iterate all objects to this players. Why does this not have a way to stop? Huh. That's interesting. You can't stop it. Okay, it shouldn't be a big deal, I guess. It's quite an expensive way to check this out. But okay, it's just for debug, I guess. That's fine. It would be better if the player or something had like an information, like how many things are in production or so. I don't know. It's a bit bad to go through all objects and to test this thing. It's okay. Has things in production. Maybe here we can say player type. Any player has things in production. Okay, and then here we say instance build. Let me say here if not any player has things in production, human player human. Okay, let's see if that compiles. Okay, let's take a look at the notifications in the meantime. Tested without this changing chatting worked after. Okay. Chat function for match observers. So this should be just a one-line change now. Yeah, that looks much better. Just one-line change, easy peasy. Looks very good. think I will leave it open for a bit longer in case someone else wants to comment on this. I mean, it is a bit of a weird design to like stall the game boot, but for me, it makes sense that when we launch the game, that we would want to show the splash image at least for some reasonable time to see it, right? If it's like half a second, like it's too short. In half a second, you can't like. I mean, you can, but it's just it looks weird. It pops up really quick and then it disappears, and you had like no chance to see it much. So I think the splash image of any mod and patch and the original game, it should show for a bit so that when the player launches the game, that he has visual confirmation that he launched the correct game title. He sees the generals or the 0 hour or the mod or the patch and shows the right splash screen for 3 seconds. And if he really wants to be fast, then he just launches with a minus quick start command line argument, right? Then it's just ultra fast. So I think the player can still choose to be fast, right? Yeah. So plus we already saved those 3 seconds in other parts of the boot. Like there was this 3 seconds delay on loading into menu, so that is gone. And the file access times have been reduced a lot, so that saves another 2+ seconds. Yeah, so already 5+ seconds saved. Yeah, who knows how fast we will get it to load in the future. Good, so that has compiled. That's fantastic. Now the question is, will this work? It might work for buildings in construction, but it might not work for things in the production queue, right? Okay, let's test that. Player count. Player things in production. Should probably count alive players. Is there already such a thing? Live player count. Player counts. Player counts. Objects. Int player counts 0. Return counts. If player alive, dead, is player dead. Not is dead. Actually, observer also needs to execute it. Now counts count players. Or we say player counts. Player count, player type counts. And then here we say if that's plus counts. There we go. Then we say if player counts equals smaller than 2 or not has things in production. Why do I go to load replay? What is this? Okay, multiplayer network. So then let's start test first with a single client. Let me put a breakpoint here. Okay, so we mapped Alt and B. That works. Okay, and Alt P. That also works. Okay, let's try Alt F. And so the player count should now be smaller. Okay, looks like we need to de-optimize this here. Pragma optimize off. Okay, Alt F. Counts, blah, blah, player type. 1, 2. Why are there 2 human players? What is this? That's unexpected. Players. Observer is human player. That's weird that this so okay. Well, in that case, I guess this is true then in skirmish. Let me. Oh, what is this? No, okay. Let me go to here. Here I expect that we have no observer, right? Let me see. No, we do have no. Why do we have? Why do we have why do we have an observer in skirmish? What is this? Replay observer. Okay, I don't understand. Okay, in that case, we have to say, if not, it's multiplayer. Multiplayer is a multiplayer game. Chat allies. Oh boy. Okay, then we say if not is a multiplayer game or not has things in production. That means we no longer need this unsightly function here, because there's always an observer for some reason. Strange. I didn't expect the observer in skirmish. Maybe it's a bug. There's an observer in skirmish. Observer player. Skirmish. Okay, let me go here, skirmish, and now we put a breakpoint here. So we press Alt F, and it's a multiplayer game. And we have passed it, okay. Okay, and so if we build something and then it's fast, okay. Let me exit here. Then we go to no multiplayer, network. Okay. Okay, then we build here. Yeah. And so now we press Alt F, and now goes in there, and then it goes in here, and now. Aha, has things in production. True. Boom. Okay, so we cannot toggle the instant builds when it builds in the network game. But when it's done, we can. Okay, that's good. Now the next question is, does this also account for things in production queue? So we turn it off, and now we produce something, and now we toggle. Oh, that works. Okay. Okay, so how do we check if something is in the production queue? Let's search for production queue. Production update. I guess that's part of every of production objects. Production queue. Where does this live? Player. Get production. Get production update interface from objects. Count unit type in queue. Pui. Pui. Okay. Okay, that looks promising. So let's go back to our code. Here, let's go in here. It has things in production. Then in here we do can set true return. Then here we can say it's a static function. Production update. Production updates. Where does this live? Game logic module includes game logic module. Game logic module production updates. And then we say if pui and then get production count. There we go. Get production count. Production count unit type. Production count. We say if production count is larger than 0, let's say, we can actually say, put it here, if that's, what does this return? Cool. Okay, this might work. Let's see. Why do I click always on the wrong buttons? Noob clicks. Yeah. Good. So now, if it works the way I hope it works, then we should no longer be able to toggle the instant build when something is producing in the queue. Let's see. Okay, so let's put something in the queue, and we can't toggle. Fantastic. Okay, that makes the debug a bit safer, because then no player can toggle as long as anything is in production. Because if something was in production and you would toggle that shit, it would mismatch, right? So I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and now we can toggle it. And we can build instantaneously. Fantastic. That's fantastic. Okay, so if we now launch a second client, yeah, let's test that. Second client here. That was a fast boot. Let's go on the same team here. Yeah. We are big friends. Yeah. Okay. And now I say I would like to enable no prereqs, yeah, on the clients. So ignore prerequisites on. Okay, and now I can build anything. Boom. Opening build order with a nuclear missile. That's the way to go here. Yeah, okay, so that works. That's fantastic. And now we can't toggle the instant builds. Yeah, that's good. Now let's toggle the free money. That's Alt B now. Free builds. Free builds. Cool. Let's see if the free build works. So we build here. Oh, that didn't work. It still has cost money. Let's try that again. Well, that doesn't work. Pfft. We got scammed here. We get scammed. It was supposed to be free. Oh boy. What a scam here. Whoa. Why is this not working? Free build. Enable free build. Builds for free. Oh, it's never used. Builds for free. Free build. Okay. Okay, where's the money deducted? Can we search that? Where's the money? Money. There's a class called money. Fantastic. Okay, does the money have player index? What is my player index? Deposit, withdraw. Let's see, withdraw. Amount to withdraw. 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 Okay, so the free build, I think what we simply need to do is don't withdraw money. Curious why it returns a value here. Withdraw. Okay, I think what we simply can do is we say if defined RTS debug and if the player lists gets nth player index get nth player index amount to deposit. Okay, so player if player not null and player free builds for free, then we return 0. Let's add a comment here. I don't need a I thought I'd add a funny comment here, something like, I don't know, money loves this player or so. I don't know, nothing smart comes to mind. Okay, but this looks like it could work. Let's see. Good, so I put this here and there. Okay, so not solo, multiplayer please, yes. Network. Okay. Okay, so free to build. So we enable Alt B. Free build is on. Okay, let's see. No, that has cost money. That's interesting. Let's put a breakpoint here. It does go in here. Huh. It's not returning true. Why? Free build. Enable free build. Do we call the correct function then? Let me put a breakpoint here. Here. Alt B. So it is enabled. Free build. That should have worked. Why is this not working? That's surprising. Let's try that again. Withdraw. Player. Player. Free build is set to false. Why? Huh? Why is free build set to false? Huh? Are we, hold on, let me go back here. Enable. Builds for free. I don't understand. Return. Free build. The player list. Players. China. free build false. Free build is set to true. Should work. Doesn't work. Player index. Maybe the index is wrong. Player index. Huh. Player index is wrong. That's interesting. Is that not called money? Get player index. PT, what is that? Player template, right? Yeah. Get player index. Okay, let's put a breakpoint here. Let's exit the game. Let's create a new game. Unable to read memory. Let me de-optimize this code here. Pragma optimize off. Okay, so this is money. So player index. What is a player index? Player index is 1. That's correct, right? 2, 3. Okay. Hold on. 3, 3. Yeah. Okay, so that looks fine, right? Now, if we load a multiplayer match, what happens? Civilian, 2, 3. That looks fine. But here somehow the player index is 0. How did that happen? How did that happen? Somehow the player index got lost in the money. Huh. Huh. Okay, that is wild. Got it initialized again, the money. Oh. my suspicion is that we assign at some point. Here. Here. we overwrite the player index here with this. Yeah, oh, that's newbie. Okay, so let's check that again. So we go here, we set the player index, yeah, and then here we go here, and now the player index is 0 again. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not smart. Okay, so we need to move the player index down here. Then what is all this bullshit? Count money. Okay, well, I hope that this fixes a problem on its own. Handicap, yeah. Yeah, looks like it should. Okay, let's try that. Another fix would have been here to say that the money, hold on, money, pass money amount, money, count money, init money. And another way to fix it would be if we set money here, withdraw deposit, and we do can't go into debt. Yeah, how about we add a function inline set void set money. There we go. Set money. Money. Let's call it white value. And then equals value. Can also make this here inline. Okay, and then we would say and we would say here set money count money. Set money count money. And then we can move this guy back up here, right? Let me see. Money. Money. Here. Set money. Yeah. I think this makes it a bit more robust and also more explicit, like what the intent is. Like if we just like set money to this and then it like sets the index of that, it's a bit shady, right? Because then you have this order dependency, like you must set the player index after you set this here, right? If you just explicitly set the money, it puts a clearer intentions here. All right, good. Then let's see. Okay, I think what also happens now is that we will be able to hear the deposit and withdraw sounds. Let me turn on the audio so that you can hear. Yeah. So yeah, let's start a match. Yeah.
We will live in prosperity.
Okay, so we withdraw. We cannot build for free. Yeah. Okay.
That's a good start. China will grow larger.
And we do hear actually the withdraw sound now.
Ah, yes. A very good plan, General.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay, let's enable the cheat for free builds.
Ah, yes.
If that works.
China will grow larger.
That works now.
Of course.
Build for free.
It will look real nice when it's done. Looks promising.
Everything. Okay, let's also enable the instant builds.
We have big plans.
For that, we first need to cancel all the
I built for China.
builds. Free build, okay.
A very good plan. Construction is complete. We'll tear through their armor.
Okay, and if we remove the free builds.
We stand together. We'll tear through their armor. China has been generous.
Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, we still launch the second client. Yeah. There, network. Okay, let's put them in the team, yeah. Accept. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can do free builds in a multiplayer.
I build for China.
Okay, so we have Alt B turned on, turned off.
Yeah,
Let's see.
on the job. China has been generous.
Yep, you can build for free in multiplayer. Fantastic. Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
We have big plans.
Okay, I think that makes testing a lot easier with instant builds and the free builds. Yeah. We can also do, what was the other one? Yeah, so we have 4 cheats that we can use.
Building is complete.
in multiplayer. That's cool. Okay. Then I think that will be it for this round of fixes. Let's try to finalize these things. So there are yeah, a number of fixes. Let's first clean up. Yeah. So this one needs cleaning. This here. This here. We should probably add a note here that the withdraw sound is now super hackers add bug fix no longer overwrites the index. It's a money player index here. Fixes the money audio. Fixes missing money audio. Fixes the missing money audio, the original game. do we need this info here? I don't know. Maybe not. It's not a particularly. I don't know. Okay, so this goes away. Has things in production. Yep. Okay, looks like we have everything set up. Yeah. Good. We need to remove this. Yeah. Good. Yeah, we need to create one note here. Is there a key mapping for sheets? Instant builds. Cheat instant builds. Do we have a free build in here? No. Do we have prereq in here? No. Okay. Good. So what we do is, I think first we need to fix the money value. Let's create a new string branch. Fix or so at TMP multiplayer cheats, debug cheats. Okay, so the first change we should do is the money value fix. Yeah, so that's that, and this. Yeah. Does this also apply? Well, it has to be replicated to generals. Yeah. But I think the bug doesn't apply to generals, because there we can hear the sound, right? Let me search for this here. Let me search for this. Oh, we're on the wrong project. Let's go to code. Okay, so this is generals, and in generals M deposit, default starting cash. Huh. Deposits. Deposit false. What does that do? Money. Deposits. Play sound. Deposit. Maybe we should do it the exact same way here. Yeah. How about we say if money, count money, and then we do this money deposits. Let's also fix here the tabbing because that's unholy. So we can do that. And then here we can do deposits, default starting cash, global data. This way we don't need to add anything to here. We can revert this again. So we just do this here on player. So game info, money deposits, count money. False, false. Let's double check that this works correctly. But I expected this. Okay, so this is 0 hour fix. Fix money deposits. Is that what is being done with the player index? Control G. I cannot jump to money for some reason. It doesn't let me. So what do we do with the player index? Player index. We use it for academy stats, record income. Yeah, and that's it. And the audio. Someday maybe we have multiple fields like gold, 10,000 wood, 1,000 Tiberian tin. Okay. Gold and woods. Okay. So So what does fix a money deposit, withdraw audio, fix broken money deposit and withdraw audio, and the other thing is academy income records. Fix broken academy. Okay, so that's the first fix. Now the second one is that the instant build has not been working, right? Because of this here. I think we can replicate this straight away in generals. Shouldn't be a big of a deal. We just copy this and put it here. Okay, builds for free. Money. That's all that's needed, right? Implements. So this is gen zh. Implement the free builds. Free builds. Debug commands. Okay, and then the next we can implement these key mappings here, and I think we can replicate them also straight away in generals. Generate meta map. There we go. I noticed that this here confuses actually this tool here. It doesn't correctly show the function name here at the top because of this here. Here, the name is wrong. Probably because it doesn't recognize that the function begins here at this comment. Huh. Interesting. Maybe we should make a pass and remove all these things. Yeah. Okay, so we copy this and we put that here. Okay, let's see, meta event looks good. Fantastic. Okay, so this is GenZH. Add default key mappings for add default key mappings for this one and this one. It's a bit hard to read. For remove prereq and free builds debug commands. Add default key mappings for remove prerequisites for ignore prerequisites. Okay, so we got that. Then next step is all this here. So these ones we need to disable, yeah. Invalid debug command. Where's this checked? Is invalid debug command. It's a weird name, isn't it? Isn't skirmish. Now I do wonder. Yeah, it's probably fine. see, here's a typo. Turn off. Okay, then here we do 0 hour, enable ignore prerequisites, instant builds, free builds, and give all sciences debug commands in multiplayer. Enable ignore prerequisites, instant build, free build, and give all science debug commands in multiplayer. Enable okay, I think that's good. Okay, now there was one. Oh, it looks a bit unholy, doesn't it? Enable. Enable the commands for multiplayer. Now there's one more thing I wanted to look at, and that is this one here. How many of these do we have? Oof, quite a lot. Oof. Oof. Should we remove them? Probably. Better not touch this now. It's too much. Good. Then Then we need to create single branches for these guys. How about we do this next session? Yeah, I'm too tired now. Yeah, let's do it next time. Okay, well, we made good progress. Yeah. Cool. Okay, is there anything that we maybe should look at? Get ASCII version. ASCII. ASCII version and Unicode version refer to the game version 1.08 and 1.04. We do not want to delete this at this time. To the original game version. I would prefer to have a product version allowed to show even when there is no product title, and so move it outside of. Oof. What would be the use case for this? What would be the use case for this? This looks like the exact same code snippet as for main menu. It should be in a separate function to comply with. Yes, it is the same function. Yeah, where do we want to put it then? I can check if I find a good place. Product author is within the product title if statement here. I don't know what dry means. What is dry? What is that? Dry meaning. Don't repeat yourself. Well, the string is built differently. The string is built differently. The presented string is composed differently. I can make another path. Unnecessary line feed. Actually placed intentionally, so to not have ends of fire at that. Okay. Okay, the rest I will continue next session then with the rest. Good, I think I'm done here for this session. It has been sweet 2 hours. I think that was productive, yeah. We have fixes for a bunch of things. Improvements for the debug commands, so that's good. All right, then, yeah. Then I wish you a great day or night. Until next time, goodbye.